Welcome back, Commanders. Rocket here. Got a watch around video for y'all enjoyment. Today, we're talking Beginner's Guide to Glory, Part 5, Gear Development. We're going to be getting into where to acquire the Gear Forge materials, how to forge gear, recast gear, refine gear, and a couple tips and tricks that sometimes I use. Hopefully help you out along the way. So, as a beginner player, you're not going to have a whole lot of good gear, okay? So, we'll take Wrath for example. We're looking for a weapon, early game. You're going to want crit rate for sure, and attack bonus. So, something like this is a really nice weapon once you're into the legendaries. To get something with crit rate, attack bonus, attack speed is pretty much what you're looking for. Okay. Same thing with the breastplate. What you're looking for, crit rate, crit damage, attack bonus is ideal. Really, really nice pieces of gear. Okay. Now, Wrath, with his awakenings, he gets a little bit of crit rate. He gets 15% crit rate for damage, or percentage, just for the hell of it. So again, you're looking for attack bonus, okay, in early game, but you can get away with a flat attack. Okay, so crit damage, these are ancient, so I won't use them as examples, but I wonder. Wait, can you not sort by... Huh. Doesn't appear. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, that's easier. So attack speed is a great thing to look for. You know, crit rate is probably a little bit better to have. This piece right here is ideal, right? Crit rate, crit damage, attack speed, attack bonus. You find a piece like that, you're laughing. And again, the attack bonus pieces are quite rare. So this one has a little bit of attack speed. Even if you could get something like that, but you really want that crit rate, right? So if you got to put a crit damage in there, no big deal. You'll see these right around 100% crit rate. This is kind of the build that you would want to look for not beginning game, but early game, mid game. These are the stats. And don't worry about sets over, or it's always stats over sets until you start to build the gear that you need. Okay, so there we go. We've got our Wrath in some really nice gear, the kind of gear you're going to want to look for. But if you can't get the bonuses, just somewhere around 100% crit rate, a little bit of attack speed. Attack speed's hard to find in the beginning game. Okay, so where to get the forge materials for better gear? You've got your gear raids, okay? So this gear raid, obviously, when you start out, you're just getting the basic stuff. So milestone that you're going to want to make as fast as possible is here, so that you can start getting the legendary gear. And then once you're here, you can start getting the ancient and the mythic gear. But for all intents and purposes, stage 1 through 8's pretty easy. Once you get the heroes and advance through your campaign, you're gonna get there. So this is the big milestone here, and then the next milestone's 13, of course. But once you're on 10, you can start to farm some of the legendary gear. That's when you can start advancing your account as much as possible. Okay, there are forge materials that you may or may not be to the point where you are getting them, but there are advanced refining crystals and there are normal refining crystals. There are the gear recast hammers, okay? And then you have all of the stuff from Malric's Hall of Illusions. Malric's Hall, you're not going to be there yet, so we're not really going to talk about the augmentating, anything like that. We're just going to be talking about the recast, reforge. Okay, so recast hammers you're going to be getting from the guild boss. You're going to be getting them from drops in gear dungeon raids. You get shards from here and there in quests and oracle trials and whatnot. You're gonna accumulate some of them. So, and actually, I didn't even really use a recast hammer until way later in the game because I wasn't really sure about them. I kept, for whatever reason. So, don't do what I did and try to use a few of them right off the bat. It is nice having like 50 gear hammers all of a sudden when you're a year in and you're like, what are these really for, right? Just silliness. So don't do that. Use them off the bat. Where's our wrath? Okay, so wrath, there you are. Okay, so obviously getting a couple pieces of gear like this early game is, even with the crap rolls, it's really good. Oh. Oh, you can't. No way. You can't advance recast the legendaries. Maybe that's why I didn't do it early game. Okay, well, we'll get into that then. So anyways, this is what you're looking for a build. If you can get a set, great, right? Crit rate, crit damage, ideal. Stats over sets. Yeah, okay. So, you know what? We'll get into the mythic gear then. We'll get into the mythic gear and all that kind of stuff. So, okay. So we'll go not enhanced. We'll go, I mean, yeah, you don't really want to use any of those. Don't really want to do any tier 2. That one's ancient. Well, if we're going to take the chance, we might as well take the chance with something that we have that's good. So here's something. Here's something. So you get a piece like this. You're enhancing it. Only go, if you go to, here's another little tip. If you go to level 8 and it doesn't roll a purple, then it's probably not. So it's definitely a piece that, I mean, if it was the only quad that you had, you would definitely want to roll it. It didn't roll good, so what do we do now? Okay. And actually, we're going to use this one as an example. This is Annihilating Breastplate. This is Calamity, and Calamity you can transform into Warlord. So we're going to go with this piece, okay? So we got it. The rolls are okay, early game, whatever. Now you got some gear forge. You got some recast hammers, right? Trying to get a little more crit rate out of it. We're going to roll. And we're going to keep the first one. Sometimes you got to go through it a few times. And a lot of times, if it's not an exclusive piece, they're just kind of made to roll low. So that one's got a decent attack bonus. Probably pick the attack bonus over the other crit rate. This is just, for where I am in the game, this is pretty much just a waste. But I do need another quad Warlord's Might. So I ran out of money. That sucks. 1 sec. Okay. So sometimes the RNG it really just isn't in it for these lower pieces, so but maybe we'll get what we're looking for. Maybe we'll get what we're looking for. If not, no big deal. Ha ha. Yeah, these pieces just roll like crap. So you can see what you'd be dealing with. Oh. Yeah, it's just no good. So we're gonna, might as well use the last one, whatever. That's disappointing. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. Some of the lower tier gear, they're pretty hard to roll, but if you wanted to try to bring your crit rate up, you'd use these refined crystals right here. And almost guaranteed, it's not going to roll because these pieces don't really like to roll. Okay, so say that is our best piece that we have though, and we want a warlord breastplate out of it. Okay, so for that, we go to the foundry and we go to ascend, filter, calamity, and crit rate, crit damage, attack bonus, attack. So that guy there. You're going to need these Kukamala spirits, and they come from the gear raids and other various boss drops. You just boom, and now you've got that same 25% attack speed, attack bonus, but you also have plus 30 attack speed. So that's what our piece turned into. Yeah, one of those. So keep in mind the rolls are very, very hit and miss in this game. And if the pieces if the rolls aren't there, if it's just one of those pieces where I think there's probably mins and maxes, like this one's probably, yeah, we'll max like this many percentage of the, so say there's whatever it is, 100% of all rolls, there's probably like all right, this one's a 25, at 30% max kind of thing. So yeah, that piece probably will maybe never roll better. All right. And if we're going into that, we might as well go into the gem enhancements. I'm not going to use any refine or, yeah, no advanced refine, but I will use one of the dark falls. So basically, we're just looking for a good roll. That is probably the best roll I've ever seen yet. Oh no, that's HP. I thought it was attack. All right, so I don't know if that's good or not, but give you a little bit of HP, or on a weapon, it will give you, yeah, why not? It will give you some attack, but 55, that's actually really good too. So not a whole lot, but it does make a difference a little bit end game. That's about it. Oh, yeah. And if you're a superstitious type, or you believe in seeding or whatever, so in the gear raids, when you do the gear raids at the end, there'll be like a running total of of all the, be a little check mark or whatever. You can auto advance all your gear. So that's a very quality of life thing. But that's about it as far as beginner's gear guide, what you're kind of looking for. Don't forget to advance in your gear raids. Okay? Especially Gear Raid 3, that's going to be where all your good stuff comes from. But Gear Raid 2 is probably going to be the easiest because there's an Aatrox cheese that you'll be able to do 18 or so once you get up to when you can. So Gear Raid 2 is going to be about the easiest. Gear Raid 3 is the hardest, especially if you don't have a Piercer Lord or a cracked out Idril. But your goals are to get to this 6 to start farming these to get gear like I showed you, and that will let you advance in arena campaign everywhere in the game. That's what you're going for. That is the goals. Okay. Yes, that's it. That's all. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helps. As always, if you stayed till the end, I appreciate your time.